How you doing? Got my phone back. Had the battery repaired. Haven't got the selfie stick anymore. That broke, so I'm gonna get a new one. But for now, just use my hand. Yeah, I can film outside again occasionally. Still mostly do the indoor videos. Yeah, it's been really good not having a phone, though, in a way. It's been really kind of useful and illuminating. I got it back yesterday. I had the battery replaced, and he gave me the old battery that was in there before, and it was an unofficial one, some random shitty Chinese one. And I'd taken it to a place that had good reviews about a year ago, maybe less than a year ago, and they fucking used some shitty cheap battery, and that's why my battery was so crap. They had me completely convinced they'd used an official Samsung one. I really believed them. They had good reviews and stuff, and the fucking cheeky bastards used some crappy fucking unofficial battery that it was just slowly dying. Made my phone a total nuisance to use. I paid loads for it as well. I can't remember how much it was, but it's a lot. And this time I paid 35, and I don't care if the battery lasts a long time because I'm replacing the phone soon anyway. But yeah, and then and I was talking with the guy about it, and I was talking about, like, he was saying, yeah, there's a lot of liars in this world and stuff, and I was like, yeah, man. And then I realised, as he was saying this, I realised he had undercharged me right when we were talking about how there's like a lot of liars in the world, and like a dick I didn't say anything because I'm used to, like, you know, if you get something extra at a shop or whatever, or, you know, you just take it, kind of, which shouldn't apply when you're dealing with a small business like that, just an independent shop, you know. Like, I needed to shift my mindset really, but I didn't, and I was like, okay, cool, bye, and left. Then I was thinking about it all day. I was like, man, that guy seemed nice, you know. I mean, who knows, maybe he put a fucking fake battery in there, I can't tell, you can't open it up, but probably not. And he seemed like a nice bloke, you know. Just like, basically just stole from him. I was thinking about it all day. We went and shot a music video. I couldn't stop thinking about it. So I went back there later and replaced, what am I talking about? Sorry, I'm pretty tired. And fucking told him about it. He was amazed, he couldn't believe it. He was fucking thrilled. And he gave me a gift for my honesty. I thought, I don't really deserve a gift, but I'll take it anyway, I don't want to spoil your moment, you know. He gave me a charger. He was looking around for stuff, and I was thinking, oh, I hope this is something good. And it was a charger, and I thought, I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. I'll take the charger, even though I have about 50 at home. And then fucking another micro USB cable is the last thing I need. But it was very nice of him, yeah. He couldn't believe it, nor could the other people in the shop, to be honest. It was like this big event. I felt like a fucking celebrity going in there and telling him that I owed him money. Everyone was like, wow. I was thinking, Jesus. This is my reward for being a fucking dishonest, greedy little cunt earlier in the day. But yeah, so I've got it back now. And as soon as I've got my phone back, I've sort of started again with old habits, or at least I've impulsively gone to do so, and ended up sort of thinking, shit, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? My brain's starting to try and go back to all the old habits of, like, open up this tab, check this thing, refresh this, go on this, do this, try and get a little bit of dopamine out of this. And it's fucking horrible, man. It's like, it's not necessary, because while I didn't have it, there were some downsides. For example, I couldn't film outdoor videos, and I couldn't write down notes, which was quite, I mean, I could write them down on a piece of paper, but I have a collection of notes I couldn't access, and I couldn't listen to music, and obviously, you know, important sort of contact with people was difficult. Sorry about that, I don't know, this video is fucking horrific because I haven't got the selfie stick. I can't see anything. So. apologies if so. I couldn't, yeah, so, you know, it's difficult to sort of contact people about important stuff. Other than that, it's fucking great not having one, and it's been really useful to realise how much of the shit I do is like fucking pointless on there and a waste of time and a distraction, and it feels innocuous, you know, it feels like, oh, I'm just checking this thing, I'm just entertaining myself. But when you don't have the possibility of doing it, you realise how much other stuff fills that space and time. Mostly the space for me. It's not so much the time it takes. It's, well, I mean it is, but it's the thoughts that you have in the absence of being able to distract yourself by looking up like Arsenal news on Reddit or something, you know. The ideas and stuff, and the feelings, not just the thoughts but the feelings. And so now a couple of times I've had it and I've been on my phone and I've gone to be like, okay, time to do my, you know, usual routine of, and then I'm just like, what? Like, why? Why am I gonna, why would I do this with myself? You know, I could do this all day, and sometimes potentially, you know, would do this all day, but why? It's not a meaningful or worthwhile activity. And what I realised when I didn't have it is, in that regard, I've missed out on nothing. I've missed out on absolutely nothing. Like, any essential Arsenal news, I'll fucking hear about it anyway, you know, and it's not to say I can't look at that stuff occasionally. Things like Instagram, it's like, you know, unless I'm making a post to promote my music, what the fuck's the point of going on Instagram, man? Who the fuck enjoys Instagram, you know? Unless you're like wanking or something, like, who's going on there and being like, woohoo! Oh yeah, I had a great night last night. I browsed Insta, looked at pictures of people on boats and fucking hot women and fucking someone's dinner and some guy doing a post about his mental health, making some fucking gross public announcement about it or something. You know, it's just like all just like, why would I go on there? What's the point? It's fucking rubbish. It's absolutely rubbish. The hard part for me to figure out now is like certain types of communication are very valuable to me, and just socialising on there, like WhatsApp and stuff, is great, because like most people I speak to now that I don't know in real life, I just keep in touch with on there, and for me it's like really good. And I think as long as you do have some real life social contact, you actually see some people face to face, I don't think there's anything wrong with just speaking to people on WhatsApp just for instant messaging. Like, I used to think there was. I used to think that was bad, but actually, like, you can have really great relationships with people just for instant messaging, and like, you know, it makes you fucking laugh and shit. And there's times where I'll be on WhatsApp and I'll think, this is just the fucking same. Like, you know, I'm like having a really fun time chatting to this person, or I'm laughing a lot or something, and it's fucking great. Like, it's really enjoyable, and it is just really good, valuable kind of social time. But the problem is, it gets splintered, and it draws you to the phone consistently throughout the whole day, because the nature of the conversations are not, you don't sit down and chat for 4 hours and then move on and it's done until the next time. It's kind of like you talk at random intervals throughout the day, you check your messages, and that then draws you to the phone. And after you go on and you've got no messages on WhatsApp or whatever, then you're like, okay, let's see what's on Reddit, let's see what's on Instagram or YouTube or whatever. And so many of these things, they do have some value. Like YouTube, it's fucking great. Obviously I put my videos on there, you know, and I watch so many videos on there, and it's really cool, you know. I get a lot out of it, but it draws me. Oh fuck it, Luna, let's go back. It draws. Come on. No, she doesn't want to go home. She's loving it. We'll take another route, Luna. We'll take a long way home. It draws me in to using the phone, and then I end up just addicted to all this other bullshit that doesn't do anything. And it's quite hard. It's quite hard to draw that line. It's a bit like if you have a food addiction. If you have a problem with food, it's probably quite hard in a way because you do have to eat. You know, you can't just go cold turkey and stop eating. And I find it's a bit like that with internet addiction and phone addiction. It's hard. What, you want to go up there? Come on, let's have a little look. Go on. It's hard because you know it's so valuable in some ways. I can't really get rid of my social media pages because I need them to promote my music. I can't stop using YouTube. I don't want to anyway. I don't want to lose contact with people on WhatsApp. But I don't want to be on my fucking phone all day. And I'm not bad compared to most people. I feel I'm not anyway, but still, I'm on it all the time. I'm like, you know, nice view, nice weather today as well. It's sunny but not too hot. I just feel like it's just constant. It's like a sort of invasive presence. Come on, Looney, you've had enough now. We'll go to the woods. It's like a sort of invasive presence. I don't know. It's like it's hard to stop. So I want to figure out some solutions to that. The problem is, you know, you can't always be around at the same time as people you keep in contact with, and so it's easier to just sort of chat a little bit here and there throughout the day, whatever else. But the other day I realised you can go on WhatsApp web now without your phone being on, which you used to not be able to. You used to need your phone. I don't know what that means, if they've changed the location of our data on there. I guess WhatsApp is not as private as it used to be, which kind of comes with the territory now that it's owned by the Zuck. Is there a more unlikable man on planet Earth? So that was a bit weird. But also, as soon as I went on it again, because I hadn't had access to it for days, I felt kind of like anxious. I felt this sort of feeling of like, oh god, I suddenly feel now like I'm like compelled to use this. When I didn't have the choice, it was quite nice. And to be fair, after a while I would just start to miss people and shit, and like I would have wanted to just get back on there naturally, but it was nice in a way to just not even have the choice. And when I realised, I can go on here, I was like, I just suddenly started feeling the strings pulling at me again, and feeling like this is just sort of becomes part of my it's part of my being, and I don't want that at all. I think when they become an extension of you and it becomes like totally normal to just be online all day, it's not a good thing. So I think there's like a lot of progress that can be made there, but it's not straightforward. It's not straightforward at all. I guess there are like apps you can get and all these types, you know, the equivalent of like a porn blocker or whatever, but I don't know, I feel a bit averse to using those. I find the idea a bit stupid because it's like, well, I can control it, so, you know, I can just turn it off. I don't know, I'm sure there are some good apps out there. I've seen this thing of like a minimalist phone or something where it gets rid of all the logos and shit. I'd like to think I'm not such a simpleton that it's the logos and the bright colours that draw me in. So I think maybe it's just personal discipline and getting used to that and setting rules with yourself about it and sticking to them. But that's quite a process. I kind of think it's like going to be the next thing that people get really into, you know, the next sort of like health or mental health kind of thing that people talk about and start focusing on. People will start to realise how unhealthy it is, because the state the world is in, it doesn't entirely make sense, and I do think quite a lot of it can be attributed to all of us being addicted to phones and the internet. So I don't know, let me know your thoughts if you guys have any methods for dealing with this issue, or what your experiences are with it, any thoughts. Yeah.